What up, guys? How are you? Saturday night. Figured I'd kick it off a little bit different tonight and be a goofball on here. Welcome to those who are joining. Hopefully you're having a great Saturday. Second scope for today. For those who are just joining us, welcome. Be sure to shout out where you're coming in from in the comments below. Put your name there too, so that way not only I know where you're coming in from, but you can also connect with others who maybe are in your area. That's the cool thing about commenting, so just be sure about that. And you can also tap on the side over here and you'll be able to show hearts, and if you slide to the right or up on an Android, Michigan, what's up? I'm over in Northern California. If you slide to the right on an iPhone or up on an Android, you'll be able to see other people's profiles as well as share the broadcast. For those who don't know me, let me start there with, my name is Ed Troxel. I'm your creative consultant. I help you think outside the box, and I help inspire and motivate you guys. So hopefully you will be inspired by this one as I was. So basically, and please comment and talk with each other as well as ask questions, because I will do my best to answer them, because I like to talk, but I also want to be able to engage and interact with you guys as well. So don't be shy. You're online, so that's the first step. The next step is being present and commenting, and hopefully you guys are scoping too. So tonight I wanted to talk about being determined. So my first scope earlier today was a quick one on my lunch break. I just was talking about, you got to be passionate and determined to know that what you're doing is the right thing. If you're thinking about building a business, or if you are building a business, or maybe you have a business built and there's just those days where you're like, I don't know if I should keep doing this. So I really covered that, and I won't go too much into that one because that was a brief one. But what was funny, and things always happen for a reason, right? What was funny is right after that, I ended up running into a guy on the street, and he was talking about his barbershop. He doesn't own one, but he's working at a barbershop. He's only 18, and it was really cool. Welcome those joining. It was really cool. He's 18, he's going to barber school, and he actually is so passionate about being a barber. He's already cutting hair. He's been cutting hair forever. And for those just joining, I am talking about a story about today, about being determined and running into this, I'm going to say young adult. He's 18, who was so passionate about being a barber, and he's going to barber school. He informed me all about like how there is this barber school. They learn all about the body, and there's more work going from textbooks rather than actually cutting hair, which I thought was fascinating. And it was really cool because I've never actually heard of guys going to barber school. Like, I've heard of women going to beauty school, but not really barber school. So I thought that was awesome. And he really opened up. I mean, he was passionate about doing this, and it really got me going. I couldn't hold back. I had to ask questions. And so we had like a good 20-minute conversation about what he does, what he's wanting to do, where he's going, and it was great. And I think it really caught him off guard that somebody was so engaged with him and really asking him all these questions, because he's just normally cutting hair and he's just talking to his customers, but not to a random stranger that he just met. And here I am asking him, what do you do? How did you get into this? What are you see yourself doing with that? Are you trying to get your own barbershop? Like, all these different questions, right? And it was so refreshing to, not only because he's 18, but to have somebody who knows what they want and what they're going for, and that they're working as hard as they can to get there. And he doesn't have that thinking of, oh, I'm the best. He got voted the best barber for his area, but what's cool is that he knows he still has opportunity, and he still has room to grow, which is key in business and anything really that you do, is that there's always room to grow. And just because you're good at something doesn't mean you can't be better. So always know that there's room for opportunity, and always ask for feedback. You're always going to hear that from me, is ask for feedback from people. I'm always asking you guys for feedback, whether you comment it down below, you shoot me an email over on my website, whatever it is, like, send it to me, because how am I supposed to get better? How am I supposed to deliver better content to you and show topics if I don't know that what's working or what's not working, right? So, be constructive and make sure you're putting in a way that people can understand. So I always like to say, show them what their strengths and opportunities are rather than tell them what they're doing wrong and what they may be doing good. Like be specific and put it in a way that people can understand where you're coming from versus a negative position from just saying you're doing this wrong. That's not really good, and it already sets a negative tone, so you don't want to do that. So anyway, this guy, he's 18, he's been cutting hair for a long time, he's going to barber school, he's passionate about it, and what was awesome is the more we talked, the more I was getting creative, and I was just like, it was like brain fire, shouting out things to him. I was like, do you have a website? He's like, no. I was like, okay, cool. So are you on social? He's like, yeah, I'm on Instagram, I have like over 2,000 followers, and he knew his stuff. He knew that he had Instagram. He had over 2,000 followers. One day he was blown up with over 1,500 Instagram followers because he gets shouted out on all these different social platforms from the barbershop he works at, which, guys, that's key. So if you're doing something good or you know someone who's doing something good, you got to share that information because it makes you look good, but it also helps that person get to the next stage, right? We all have to work together, and this is exactly what we were talking about. The gentleman and I was telling him it's all about teamwork, and he got that. He knew that. It's all about teamwork and working together with each other to help each other get to the next stage. And so what was really, really cool is that even though he knew that he had about 2,000 followers on Instagram, he knew that if he wasn't posting every day, he was losing people. And he quoted about 20 or so people. So let me restate that. He wasn't posting every day, he would lose people. That's with any platform, guys. You have to consistently be posting, even if you really don't want to. You want to make sure that you get in that mindset that you have to be present, each day. It's like going to school and learning something new. You got to go to class every day to be able to learn it, right? You've got to show up. You got to be present. So if you're getting online, you need to be present and you need to send out that information. Make sure it's valuable, don't just send out something just to send it out. You want to make sure that you're giving your audience what they want and what's related to you. But he knew that, right? And so then the next stage was, okay, cool, you got your Instagram, you got it all set up, you got all these people on there. And I went back to, so now you need to get a website. I said, think of a name, think of a domain that you're going to want, get it, and then start building your website. I don't even care if it's just one page on there that says who you are and a contact. It doesn't matter. But that's how you build your business. That's how you start getting a following of your own. Because I told him, I said, what happens when Instagram goes down, or Facebook, or Twitter, or whatever it may be, Periscope? Where are all those people going to find you? How are you going to find those people? You're not, unless they specifically Google you and you got some good SEO going on, which is, for those who don't know, search engine optimization. So you really, really need to be aware that you need to have your own website, and you need to have your information on there so that people have a spot to find you. And you want to build your email list through that website and really make sure that your website is your home base. So again, I'm talking to this 18-year-old, I'm telling him all of this stuff, and that we continue through this path. He's like, oh, good point, I didn't really think about that. I should be thinking about this and that. Welcome to those joining. And so what was really great about having that conversation is then it took us to the next level. He started telling me about himself. And I said, that's your story right there. You need to write that down, put that as your bio for your website so that when people come to your website, they know who you are, they know that you're passionate about being a barber, that you've been doing it for a long time, that you are the best, and that you're making their time worth it. And we had talked about that too. He will take his time with cutting the hair and making sure that the customer feels good about it. And he loves cutting hair with scissors versus just a razor or the regular gear there with the guard on there. Can't speak at Saturday night, sorry. But he was passionate, and he knew that if he delivers good customer service, it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as he delivers good customer service, his customers are going to keep coming back to him. They're going to wait. They're going to be there and patiently wait and get their haircut by him. I told him he already had that down and that he knew that that was key, and that's what's going to get him far. And he was really impressed with the feedback I was giving him and the ideas that we were just shouting out back and forth, back and forth. And so what was really a cool thing was not only did he know he was good and that he can always learn and have opportunity to learn that, but he was open to the website idea. And then when I told him about That's Your Story, I said, you need to write a book. You need to write a book about what you and your customers are talking about each time, because he was talking about how passionate he is about cutting hair and that each time it's different and you have a different customer. And I said, that's your story. You need to write about that. Have that as your blog. Make a book later about it. It doesn't matter. But start writing that stuff down because people are going to know about that. How cool would it be to read a story or a blog post about your favorite barbershop or your barber and the crazy cool stories that he comes up with? That John over here, and you can always change names. You don't need to have their real name there, but John here is my regular. He comes in twice a week. He gets his hair cut, a number 1 on the sides with a 2 on top, trying to look fly for the ladies. And he's always down at the club on Saturday nights, trying to see what he can find, or who he can talk to, or who he's networking with this week for his business. I'm making this all up on the spot right here, so bear with me. But you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that I get into, and that's the kind of stuff that I love helping you guys with, is determining what needs to happen and what needs to work for you to get to the next stage. So we're going off of this, and it just blew his mind, and I was just on fire, and I loved it. I loved that moment in helping him figure that out. He didn't even ask for it. We were just started talking, and we just could connect because he had that passion, just like I do for helping you guys. And so it was really cool to see that for him and see that now he's going home, not only just from what he was expecting to do that day, but now he's going home and now he's got new ideas. And now he's going to start getting creative and start thinking, I need a website. I need to start driving people to my website. I need to start doing this stories. I need to start blogging about this. And then he already had this idea going, so I directed him to get a website because now you can add this to it. Then he was saying, he wanted to do his own line of hair care, his pomades and stuff like that. The guy was passionate, guys. He was so passionate about cutting hair and everything involved with that you knew he's going to do something great with it. And he just needed a little guidance and a little push and hear it from somebody else on what to do next. So I'm really excited for him, and I can't wait to see what comes up in the future for him. Again, he's only 18 and he's already that passionate about it, and he's been doing it for a long time. And I can't wait to see like the stories he comes up with and how he markets that. It's exciting, and it's great because I'm in that area right now, meaning that there's so many people that are connecting with me and contacting me and that can relate to that same type of thing, that they're all in that same boat. Everyone's trying to start their own business or working in their business, and they're trying to get to that next stage, and they just need a little bit of help, a little bit of creativity, a little bit more of a push. And it's cool because everyone's kind of connected and bringing it back, and I'm able to help them with that. And for me, that's what I call work, and that's what I call fun, because I get to help with that, and I get to see where they go with it and spark that creativity. So anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. I appreciate you joining in on a Saturday night. I hope that you guys will go out there and have a good time, whatever you guys do. And thank you for tuning in. I just wanted to share that with you guys because, as you can see, I was passionate about it and I had a good time, and I didn't really want that to go to waste. So I wanted to encourage you guys to keep up the good work. If you haven't started, keep on writing things down. If you have to go pen and paper, it's great. That's especially good for if you're drawing, sketching things out. Pen and paper is always good. Get a whiteboard if you need a whiteboard. Welcome, Nancy. Get a whiteboard and jot things down. They even make whiteboard paint, believe it or not, so you could paint your whole wall. I know if those of you are familiar with Coach Glitter, she was talking about that in one of her scopes, and she was like, if I could have a whiteboard in my garage, it would be over. And I was like, hey, they make paint for that, so now you can turn your garage into a whole whiteboard. So it's really great. And if you don't know who Coach Glitter is, by the way, you should definitely check her out on here as well as on Twitter. I have a few others that I follow consistently, like Nicole and Shalene Johnson and a few others. Thank you for those hearts. For those who don't know who they are or don't know what I'm talking about, go over to my website afterwards, edtroxelcreative.com. My last name, you can slide to the right or up on an Android and you'll see it there. But edtroxelcreative.com, click on Scope School, and it's really cool. I've built a page dedicated to my scopes and where you can find each scope and any resources we covered. And so I have a bunch of other scopes there with different links to people's websites and products that we've talked about or used and things like that. So you can find all of that there. But there is a post on the top 10 people that I follow, as well as I encourage you to comment and share out people that you follow, because I want to check them out. I want to know who's around, who's doing what, and that's how I become a better resource for you guys. So be sure to check that out. And again, as always, leave any feedback and reach out when you need something, and we'll see what we can do. And it's really cool for those who haven't been to my website yet. I was so excited about launching it last week. I redid it. I built it, and it looks fantastic, if I do say so myself. My feelings won't be hurt if some others have different opinions. Like I said, feedback is key, but it is so much better than it used to be, and I was really proud to have done that myself and get that up and running for you guys so that it's a better experience for you and you'll be able to find things a lot easier. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. And yeah, I hope you guys had a great Saturday night. Have a great Saturday night. For those who are tuning in, maybe your Saturday night's almost over. But keep checking us out. Send me any ideas on show topics or possible people that you want to see on here. Like I said, I have some lineups coming up with more interviews. We've done a few so far. They've been really great. We're going to continue to do that. And really just start engaging with people. If you're not scoping yet, like I am right here with you guys, that's okay. You'll get there. And I encourage you to do so because it builds your confidence. It builds your following, and it's just really great. And you want to do it before it gets too noisy on here, because it's starting to get a little bit more, people are starting to show up. I refer to it as a party, so more people are showing up to the party. DJ is probably going to come soon so that they can, a professional DJ, not me if you were at the beginning of the scope here, they're going to start showing up, and then it's going to be pretty crowded, like Facebook and Twitter and everything else. So definitely start scoping, but in the meantime, build your confidence by commenting down in the box on people's scopes, interact with each other, because that's really what it's about. The ones who are doing the scopes like I am, we're here to just start the conversation, provide some tips and tricks and, educate you. But it's really about you guys interacting with each other and engaging with us every so often and then building from that. So, we're a community. We're teamwork equals success, So I hope you guys have a great Saturday night. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this you got some value out of this and that it helped inspire and motivate you. Like I said, it was a great thing to help out this young adult. He was 18 and he's into cutting hair, and he's a great barber. Website, Nancy, is edtroxelcreative.com. That's Ed, Troxell, creative.com. And if you slide right on an iPhone, you'll see my last name there, or if you slide up on an Android, you'll see it there. And then I also have a link in the bio too. So definitely, it was great hanging out with you guys tonight. I hope you have fun. We'll end it with a little bit of music. Like I said, I'm not a DJ. You're welcome, Nancy. You have a great night. Not the DJ, professional DJ, but I figured it was fun. So you guys have a great night, and keep going on and on, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.